In 1993, I was invited to come to Uganda to give some advice on an agricultural project in Luwero, because that's my background, agriculture. And during that time, I felt, having visited here and then going home, that having seen what I saw, and especially the poverty, that I should do something to help start this farm. So we started fundraising back in Ireland, and we raised enough money to buy land here in Uganda. Then the cry was, who's going to come and look after this money and buy the farm and everything? So it eventually fell to Ruth, my wife, and myself to come back to Uganda for a period of time to buy the farm, which we did, but we couldn't get land beside the school in Luwero. We actually ended up buying land in Kasangati about a year later, after being here for a year. And during that time, when we were getting the farm up and developed and running, some local village councillors came to us. There's 4 villages around the farm in Kasangati, wondering would we build a school for the local children, because they had no school to go to. And so we had no money at that stage, but again we went back to donors and we raised money to build our first school on the farm, called Fields of Life Academy. And that was in 1996, 97. We opened the school for the first time in 97. And by the end of the year we had about 450 pupils in the school. And that's where the whole education side of Fields of Life came from. So following on from the school project, we ended up going back home to Ireland, but then the work of Fields of Life grew. And not only was it in the whole area of education, but it was also in the area of water. One of my concerns was so many people carry dirty water long distances. So if we could drill wells beside the schools in particular, but even for local communities. And so we started drilling wells, but I was concerned at the time with the workmanship of the drillers we were using. They weren't drilling deep enough. And so we came up with this idea of buying a drill of our own, so we could do our own drilling. And that's where the whole water and the drilling side of Fields of Life came from. That once we had the machines ourselves, we knew we could drill the proper way and the right way and drill deep enough. And to date we've 2 drilling rigs and over 650, 700 wells drilled.
Embeera yali ekaluba. Boreholes ezaaliko nga newogisunda oyinza obutafuna mazzi mu butuufu bwago. Naye oluvannyuma lwa Fields of Life okutandika okutuwa amazzi, baatuleetera borehole eno gye tuliko gye tuyimiridde kati. Borehole egonda n'omwana omuto asobola ogisunda n'akuleetera amazzi ewaka. Kale tweyanza Fields of Life okutuyamba okutusembereza amazzi okumpi ennyo.
I think one of the special memories is the whole area of seeing those first children in the first school coming. We can talk about buildings, we can talk about wells, but seeing people helped and seeing some of the first children we educated, now in jobs themselves, now even working for Fields of Life, some of them, but now those being the change makers and the transformation makers within Uganda, that's what's really exciting me. Well, there's one story I was just recollecting on it this week. A guy called Moses in Kawandwe, and I was introduced to this boy, and he had some speech problems. But when I was told the story by Annette about this young boy, he couldn't talk and he couldn't walk. And she got to hear about this and she asked could he come to the local school, the Kawandwe Primary School. And the mother refused first, but then she said, if I get a wheelchair, and we wheel him in. And so he came to the school, and when I was there, she introduced me to him and he said hello to me and was walking. And she told me the story. And I said, Annette, how did you help to get this boy talking and walking? And her answer was, I've never forgotten it to this day, I just loved him. I showed him love. And I've seen that with so many of our teachers, with so many of our staff, just loving the child who just needs a little bit of love, and it's made all the difference. So there's so many stories. I could be here all day telling stories, but they're just some of them.